let's talk about dieting. I remember when we did Hansel and Gretel. A lot of the cast is a musical about food.
Yes.
By Wild Rice, and but yet. Not me though. I think I would disappear.
Yeah, you would disappear.
But a lot of the cast were dieting on this.
Yes, because you know why? We were supposed to play twins. Now, look at us. Okay, I had to go on a diet just to try and look a little bit more Dwayne-like.
I was trying to eat as much as I was going to live it. Trying to eat as much as I could.
Somehow we would meet in the middle. But I think that part of why we all kind of, not all of us, but quite a few of us went on this diet, is because it works, number one. Number two, if you want a diet to work, I think it's been scientifically proven that if you have other people who are doing the diet with you, it works even better because you have accountability partners and you spur each other on, and you can cook for each other, and it actually turns out to be quite a lot of fun, even though you're depriving yourself of many foods like deep fried things, sugary things, because we cut out oil, we cut out sugar. I mean, we're still eating 4 meals a day. It's just that it was very controlled and very healthy.
But I remember you guys saying that after the diet, when you tasted food, you realized everything tasted so much better.
Yes.
So it's almost like we've conditioned ourselves to have everything, sugary, salty, to the point that it's actually not even basically what we generally need.
I think that with whatever we're eating, whatever we put into our bodies, a lot of the stuff is over seasoned, whether it's too sugary, too salty, it's full of hydrogenated fats, everything to make things last longer and to taste better. A lot of artificial stuff, and I think our taste buds and our bodies have been conditioned to just want that, and then we crave it more, and then you don't even realize that actually if you cut out all that stuff and you prepare your food from scratch, you cook your own food, vegetables, meat, and you use minimal seasoning, it really brings out the flavor, the natural flavor of the vegetable that you're eating, or the piece of chicken you're eating, or the prawns. Suddenly prawns taste so sweet and there's barely any seasoning on them, and it was a reconditioning of our taste buds, I think.
Right, yeah. So but then once you come off your diet and you taste these wonderful flavors, does it last for a very long time, or then do you have to go back to a diet to re-savor these kind of experiences? So what are you on right now? Are you just? Can you
I'm on my happy pills now.
So what is food like right for you? I mean, for me, I try to stay away from meat, and but it's moderation as well. But just curious, just because you are a celebrity guest, we want to know what you're eating.
Hardly celebrity,
or even just some recommendations. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
What am I eating these days? I think that you can't sustain a diet forever. A diet is there for a period of time because you want to hit a certain goal. Let's say you want to get healthier, you want to detox, or you want to lose some weight. But I don't think you can stick to the diet forever, and that's why I'm not on a diet. I think that somehow you have to find something that works for you, and I think that I try to eat whatever I want in moderation, and then if I find that I'm overeating, then my dress gets a bit tighter, then I know, okay, you just have to move more. And so it's not about what I eat now. I think, everybody knows I love fries with a lot of salt.
Yeah, she really does.
And so if I have that, I will have to move a little bit more. Sorry, you now can see my Benny up and down.
From Denny to Benny.
Yeah, Denise! Okay, anyway.
You can download an app and they provide you all these drawings where you can color them however you want. And so this article that I posted said that coloring is another form of meditation.
Well, not because I know because I've heard that as well.
Right.
For meditation.
It's for meditation. But...
N-O-P. No, because I read that as well, and I was gonna try to do it because it was I'm also on those email. I subscribed to one thing, and then they were saying one of those articles were it's like a coloring thing. But I mean, if and I'm just using my analytical mind, I guess because we're literally, because there's no drama to it, coloring. It's it's so sort of there. It's the same as farming. It's just if you weed, you're just doing one single action.
Correct.
Basically.
It helps the focus.
One act, yeah. I mean, if we're talking about it in terms of acting, or it's like a one act. You're not doing this and then this and this and this. You're just focused on one action.
Right.
Cutting leaves, that's one, and then if it's coloring, it's really just coloring.
Right.
So I guess maybe that's why it's also meditative.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you say it's very easy to have very bad posture? Do a lot of pianists have bad postures? How do you take care of your posture?
Musicians in general, it is very easy to get bad posture, but
Yeah, you're slouching now. Look at that.
yeah, I know. Yeah, thanks. But then again, what is good posture? When I was in university, that was something that I always struggled with, because they are all about Alexander technique and proper way of but there are musicians who I love and adore,
Right.
who don't follow any of that. I mean, Glenn Gould,
Right.
Bill Evans.
But is that good though? Are they following it for some reason?
I mean, I don't know what their health
Right.
was like, and and then even as a violinist, the question about shoulder rest or not.
Right.
That's at the end of the day, I think it's like, if I'm not wrong, I think Meryl Streep said this about method acting, that method is your own method. It's not
Okay.
something that everyone subscribes to a certain
Posture
school.
is your own.
And I think so. I think
Okay.
everyone's. Didn't you send me that article about
The J posture.
J-shaped spine?
Yeah,
Some
because
people
they-
have J-shaped, some have
It's
S-shaped.
the ones in, was it in Africa or I can't, I sent I posted this on the website as well. It's about how these indigenous people have a J-shaped spine because of the way they hold themselves up, and they don't suffer from any back pain. So
That'd be nice.
how do you stay healthy and stay looking good? I mean, this is a bit of a bimbo question, but
Basically, I think I'm a very happy person. Yeah, I'm not easily angry. If one day this person make me angry, that means he really did something that very wrong, big
Wow.
mistake, huge. And I think staying happy is very important.
you
I'm
have
feeling okay, but I'm
sore
just.
throat a little
I
bit.
sound a little congested.
Okay.
That's alright.
We have some honey for you, some ginger honey.
Yeah. Thanks, Dwayne.
No problem. And you also brought
Cupcakes.
I didn't expect this, but you made these cupcakes.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're like marbly.
Marbly
It's like
chocolate.
Banana and chocolate, and it's like mushed together.
Our first topic actually is we go through health, technology, and entertainment.
Okay.
So we're just on health and food. Do you often cook and make
Yeah,
stuff
I do.
for fun?
Just for fun and
Okay.
like stress relief. Like if
wow.
you're having a bad day, make yourself some
sounds really
popcorn,
good.
right?
Yeah. Do you also how
Or
long do
bake
you
a cake.
spend a day? How long do you spend making something like that?
Like a cake, maybe like an hour,
so easy.
but like an hour, yeah. That's
Wow. Okay.
And like baking time, this was like 20 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes because
Oh,
they're
wow.
little. They're not like big cakes.
But you need an oven, right?
But you need an oven, yeah.
Okay, not a microwave. Doesn't work
No.
that way. Okay.
Sure.
So the next we're going to talk about is HIV testing.
Right.
Actually, there's not much to talk about. Basically, the right thing to do is to get tested, and But basically,
Actually, sorry to cut you off. There's a lot of fear with regards to getting a test.
True.
It is actually one of the top issues that I face while managing the page, because a lot of people don't know how to deal with the consequences.
right.
And there's actually a community organization, it's called the Purple Alliance, that actually assists people with getting a test, right? How they assist you is not in getting you the test itself, but they accompany you, right?
Wow.
And being that presence, being that hand to hold on to while you're waiting for the test results.
Right. And this
And-
is the test that is organized by Action for AIDS or anywhere. They go with you
okay,
anywhere.
Basically, they can either go with you with the anonymous testing that's conducted by by AFA. It's every Tuesday and Thursday, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Right.
It's a van, right, or something
Yeah,
that goes around.
this is the one that's at the AFA office. Then,
I see.
Then the van that goes around, they have that as well.
Yeah,
right?
and you can look on their website. I'll put a link.
Yeah. So that's for the anonymous one. If you just want to go for the normal one, you can go down to the DSC Clinic at Kelantan Lane. I think the opening hours are in the morning and then in the afternoon as well. You can check that online.
Right.
So they can accompany you for either. Right. And I never really understood. I mean, theoretically, I understood or emotionally, I could get the kind of support that they provide, right? Which I always thought was very nice. But a couple of weeks ago, so I had this reader who wrote in,
right,
who happened to have unprotected sex, right?
Okay.
The guy actually coerced him into it, and after it happened, and he was very freaked out, and he was actually bleeding a little bit, which is actually one of the danger signs.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Because it goes right into your bloodstream, basically.
So he was quite freaked out about it. Even though the guy told him that he was tested, but still with these things you can't tell, right?
You can't. I mean, and you need to ask exactly when you were tested, because if you were tested, like, it's a 3-month window period, which means if he was tested and if he got it right after that, you would still have to wait 3 months for him to know that he got the virus. So yeah.
So when that happened to him, one of the things that I told him was he needed to go for a test and get himself on the medication that's called PEP. Alright, it's post something,
right.
Which I can't pronounce now. Right, but basically PEP helps to minimize your exposure to HIV virus.
Right.
If
But if you've taken that after you've had the experience, doesn't work.
So there's one for pre and one for post.
Oh really?
So
okay.
pre is PrEP. PrEP, which is the more popular one now, right? Which is supposed to be preventive, right? But there's one that's for post. But
how long after though?
Within 72 hours.
Okay.
Within 72 hours of your sexual contact. So when this reader wrote in, it was already about 16 hours. So I told him the next morning you need to go down and do it.
Right.
Now, but for this reader, he was a student, so he couldn't exactly afford the medication.
Okay.
And if you initially Google the cost of PEP, the cost can be up to 2,200.
Wow.
At private clinics.
Right.
Right.
So
So
what
if
is he
you
to
go
do?
down to DSC Clinic,
Okay.
if you go down and you get the doctor's prescription and everything, you can get it at a subsidized rate at AFA for $180.
Wow. And
But-
who's subsidizing it? The government.
This is like AFA, and they've got like donors and grants like that.
Oh,
and
that's
stuff like- yeah.
fantastic.
So from 2,200 down to $180, the consultation itself is about another almost $40.
Right.
Right. So everything adds up is about 220, 230.
Right. I have thoughts about that though.
Yeah.
Just because there's a subsidy, don't go off thinking that you can, willy-nilly have sex and things
Yeah.
like that. I mean, these people are very nice to sponsor it, but at the same time, it shouldn't be abused now.
Yeah. You should still be like responsible. But
Yeah.
this is in case things go wrong, which is what happened for this reader, right?
Yes.
So even $220, $230 was a bit of a stretch for him. I said,
Of course.
like, no worries, I will take care of that. You need to get yourself on the medication. So we met up the next morning, we went out to the clinic. The nurses there were very professional. There's actually a little sign that says that if you need a little bit more privacy, let us know.
Wow.
Whereby they can handle all your queries and everything
Right.
rather than doing the registration or at the counter, because they are very mindful of the fact that people are very conscious and a little bit embarrassed to be going there to be taking tests and stuff like that.
Right.
So we went there, and then he went to like consult the doctor, and the doctor told him that it's best to get on the medication and all, so gave him the prescription, went down to AFA, and then there was another surprise. So AFA basically told us if you're below the age of 25, they subsidize a further 50%. So from
Wow.
$180, it came down to $90.
Wow. Is this
Right.
on their website, by the way? Not sure.
No, it's not stated that much.
Okay.
I think. I mean, like,
Possibly also so that it
if you
doesn't
go
get
to the
abused.
website, right, it's chock full of information.
Right.
Sometimes there's a little bit of an information like
Overload.
overload, right?
Yeah.
But so like for me, I got the experience. I have gone for my own HIV test and stuff like that. But to be there for somebody to just help hold their hand and say that everything will be okay, everything will be okay. I feel that's not done enough. And a lot of people, they don't dare take the test, because one of the questions that he did ask was what happens after.
Right.
Now AFA does once you are diagnosed positive, right? So things really turn south.
Right.
And you are diagnosed positive, right? You get the prescription. AFA is able to help you get your prescription and your medication and everything on a monthly basis at a subsidized rate.
Right.
But it can still come up to quite a bit. We are still talking about $200 to $400, depending on, again, with HIV,
Wow.
there are different strains.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So if you get some of the more virulent strains, it gets more expensive. In the past, again, And in the past, like almost 3 years of like managing a page, I've dealt with a lot of readers who have come out and said that I've been diagnosed like HIV positive. I don't know what to do. The youngest I ever got was 14 years old.
Wow.
It was freaky.
And these are the closeted ones who still meet people.
Okay, closeted for these people doesn't mean that they won't explore their sexual urges. Right. Just that they won't understand. Okay, firstly, they won't come out to anybody that's around them. They probably won't be able to get into or they won't understand or know how to get into a proper and stable relationship and stuff like that.
Right.
They basically won't have the normal social support as opposed to a normal couple or like a heteronormative
but they still
couple.
Meet people. I mean,
They-
I guess
they do,
there
you know?
are online ways to do that
Yeah.
without being at the bars and being seen and everything.
Or even if
Okay.
you go to a swimming pool and stuff like that.
Right.
Things do happen there, right?
Right.
There are cruising spots still. Apparently some of the shopping malls, the toilets are still quite cruisy. Which
Really?
I was very surprised to learn.
Okay.
So
You do learn a lot about the community that way.
I
I
do,
mean, and
I
all
do.
this and all about AIDS and everything. Is this normally things that you would research, or is this things because of what has
okay,
happened?
yeah, because of what has happened. So
Right.
then I will go out and find information. So
Aw.
initially
It's
I
changed
thought
your
that
life.
it did. It really changed my life. I mean, I think it made me a slightly better, nicer person. I mean. Yeah. So, with regards to like with that 14-year-old reader,
Yep.
and then there was another one who was going on 16.
Yep.
I've actually connected them with older readers, or I call them angel readers,
Right.
who actually now sponsors their monthly medication.
Wow.
Yeah, and we still keep in touch like once in a while, and they go for their checkups and stuff like that. They tell me stuff like their viral loads are undetectable, which means that basically they are safe. They can't transmit the virus to anybody else.
Right.
They're leading a nice, healthy life and stuff like that.
Right.
So now the next hurdle for them is, should they come out to their parents?
Right.
Right, because for them coming out to the parents is twofold.
Right.
Mom, Dad, I'm gay. I've got HIV.
Oh no, but then you don't have to. You can say I have HIV without saying I'm gay, also, right?
Generally, parents will want to know more.
Okay.
Right? Like,
Okay.
how do you get it? Who do you get
Yeah.
it from? And stuff like that. And by the way, just to get a little bit legal, in Singapore, if you do transmit the virus to somebody, you are criminally liable.
Wow.
And there's no statute of limitations on that.
What does that mean?
Meaning that, okay, for some crimes, right, there's a statute of limitations. So let's say 7 years or 9 years or 10 years
Right.
after the crime has been committed, the police can't charge you anymore.
Right.
So you have
Oh,
a
I
window
see.
period of being criminally liable.
This one's forever.
Yeah, this is forever. Right?
Okay.
It can be 20 years later, somebody can come back and get the police to like prosecute and stuff like that.
Wow. Is this only in Singapore though?
I think Singapore is one of the first few countries to pass that law.
Oh, wow.
Which makes you criminally liable. Which
Right.
yeah.
Singapore's very, very harsh on the. I mean, not harsh,
Yeah.
but they're very quick on. I mean,
Yeah.
we're one of the strictest. Chewing gum,
Yep.
everything,
Yep.
drugs. The other thing was, see, so actually, it is actually better to test even
It
if
is.
you have it, rather than not
As-
monitor. I mean, for me, when you first said it, I was just like surprised, because for me, I would go for testing because
Yep.
because to know, I would want to know rather, because I mean there are ways to. There's medicine. There's lots of medicine these days, and
But they are very
people-
costly, and for a lot of people,
Right.
they can't afford it.
But
So-
then, would you rather let the virus take its course?
I've-
Through your. I mean, that's even more costly in a sense, right? You suffer a lot more, and
Okay, I've also
so
met
the
readers
fear- uh-huh.
who have been diagnosed positive and doing nothing about it. Because for them
Wow.
it's like I can't afford the medication. So that's
right?
it.
And then they're gonna just deteriorate.
Yep.
That's okay.
And I've actually had a couple of friends who passed away like that.
Wow. But then,
Yeah.
then there's the other thing of do you then get sexually active, because that's probably not very right.
Yeah. I mean I have talked with some of these friends, some of these readers who are still very sexually active. I can't act on the knowledge of how I found out, right? Because how I came to find out was through privilege means.
Right.
I'm not a actual religious confessional box, but I still
Yeah.
respect like the right to privacy for that. But when I find out what they're doing, I usually tell them very firmly, stop what you're doing right now, because firstly you are criminally liable, and I quote them that whole section and stuff like that. But that's it. I don't go out and report them to police.
Of course.
But I am aware, and I am aware of the psychological motivation behind why, because they just get so depressed, because for them there's no way out,
Yeah.
and they simply can't afford. And for them is the consequences of like coming out to family. Firstly, mom, dad, I'm gay, and secondly, I'm gay and I've got HIV, is just too daunting for them.
Yeah.
So I've even offered to be that person to sit beside them and say that when you come out to your parents, when you do let your parents know, I will be that person sitting beside you. And probably one of the first few questions the parents will ask me is, are you the bastard who gave it to my child?
Right. That's awesome. It seems to have changed you a lot. I mean, I think from what I'm hearing right now, which I mean, I'm a big believer of that these days,
Right.
is that you tend to now see every side of the story, and it's always valid, no matter how
Yeah.
wrong it seems to
Yeah.
you. The
It
other
is.
side, there's
Yeah.
always, and once you are able to step out of that and not get personally attached to your own opinions, I think that's a you know,
Yeah.
in a sense, in talking about a broader perspective, it makes the world a better place if
Hopefully.
people can do that.
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
That's one of the reasons why I want to do what I do. Yeah. And,
That's awesome.
And I think you made a very valid and salient point about not being attached to your own
I
opinions.
mean, you can have them, but don't be attached to them.
Yeah,
be aware
correct,
of what
correct.
your opinions are. You
Yeah.
are still a person with opinions, but yeah.
But being very objective, and that's one of the biggest hurdles I face with administering this page. Because being objective enough to see, like, even though I know somebody is doing something wrong, but understanding like the motivation behind it, going like, okay, you do have your reasons for doing it. They're not excuses, but they are reasons.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, but we would both, I think, safely say we would encourage you
Yeah.
to test for anyone to test for
definitely.
AIDS if you're very active, or even if you're active at all.
Yeah.
Did you know this, by the way? I did the voice for the recent ad. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on YouTube all the time. I'm clicking for my next video. The ad will pop up, and it's always funny to hear my voice.
which ad is it?
It's the one where this person is voicing, saying his father and his mother and his sister, and he loves his sister, and then
Oh, that one.
yeah,
Really?
and it says
Okay,
that
that's very different from your other fast food commercial one.
it's very different.
Okay, one of the most marginalized groups within the LGBT community, right, is people who are living with like HIV. There's so much stigma there. A huge swath of content that I've received in the last 1 year are people with HIV, and they are struggling to. Firstly, they have to come to terms with themselves,
Right.
with their family,
Mm-hmm.
and then what's next? You know, and a lot of them keep asking the same question: will I ever find someone who will love me?
Yeah.
Right, despite the fact that I'm living with HIV. And it's a question that I get online or face to face, and I don't know how to answer that, because that is, and I feel
Yeah.
that this is one of the most fundamental human needs, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
the need to
tricky.
feel loved.
Yeah.
I've actually got a close friend who's not HIV positive, but is dating somebody who's HIV positive,
Right.
and I take my hat off to him for that, because it's actually very brave.
Yeah.
And actually these days with medication and all, the life expectancy of somebody with like HIV is not that much different from somebody without.
Right.
And
There's so much fear because there's not enough understanding, I feel. I mean, there should be a show out there, hopefully soon, about couples, with one or two, living with HIV. I think that would help to enlighten what kind of possible lifestyles, in a positive way, that there can be with stuff like that going
but
on.
studios won't be happy with that,
Of course not.
because
Yeah.
it affects advertising. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.